Welcome. This is Jason
and Angel,
and we are Focused Marriages. And we are so excited to come on and visit with you all today on WYTV7. And we're excited about sharing what it's all about: marriages, relationships, and how to be successful in them.
Yep. And I'm just looking forward to having a good time with our host, Sandy White. Thanks for inviting us on here in WYTV7.
It's going to be exciting. Stay tuned.
Come on over.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Simply-FITT. I am your host, Sandy White, and as usual, I am super duper excited. I've got longtime friends here that want to just rock y'all world so y'all can have a blessed and happy, prosperous marriage. Because I know, like y'all know, right, this is April, and we're talking about being financially fit. Well, guess what? If you got a jacked marriage, you're going to have jacked finances. So I got some experts here that's going to help you get to the next level, not only in your marriage, but in your finances too, because those two go hand in hand. You may think it's crazy, but wait till you hear what they've got to say. Hey, but before we get started, I would like to thank WYTV7 for allowing Simply-FITT Radio to be a part of the Christian Broadcasters Network. Remember, we are a nonprofit organization. So if you want to continue to see segments like the one that you'll be seeing today, we're asking if you would click the button. It's on the top of the bottom. You'll see it. It's a nice big green button. Click the donation button and make a donation today. WYTV7 is making a huge imprint in the earth. So we want to continue to allowing them to do this with your generous gift. Again, they are a nonprofit organization. And if you want to continue to receive fitness tips and strategies from Simply-FITT Radio, along with the other broadcasters that are with WYTV7, please click the donate button and make a generous donation today. Remember, guys, Simply-FITT's mission statement is to provide simple tips and strategies to individuals so that they can be fit in their mind, body, and soul, thus allowing each of us the opportunity to share our gifts with the world rather than having them aborted by Satan. And remember, fitness is more than just exercise. And this is why we're talking about having a healthy marriage, because that is so important. But you guys know I talk a lot, so without further ado, let's welcome the experts to the show, Angel and Jason Scott. How are you guys?
We are great. Wonderful.
Hey guys, you know what? I talk a lot, so I don't want to get into too much because I'm so excited to have you guys on. I should have invited y'all a long time ago, but y'all have been rocking and rolling and you had a break in your schedule. So, hey, can you guys do me a favor and let the audience know? And if you don't know, we have this is viewing and hearing. So you got a lot of folks coming and going in. So we'll ask you this periodically, but introduce yourselves and what you guys do and what is your expertise in your business.
Great, love to. So first of all, Sandy, thank you and WYTV7 for having us on today.
Yes.
We are just as excited as you are to share, in this type of atmosphere, because, being in closing and home all day, every time you're trying to find something else different to do. So
quarantine.
Yeah, this is awesome. This is exciting.
Quarantine marriage.
Yeah. So for us, we are, again, Jason and Angel with Focused Marriages. This is who we are. We are a couple that focus on marriage. And the great part about this is we're not sharing anything that we're not doing.
Amen.
We live this stuff every single day. And the things that we do is we coach relationships. And I'm not going to just say marriages, because we're also coaching seriously dating, engaged, and married couples.
Right.
And we do it in 3 areas. We do it based upon biblical principles, practical applications, and personal experiences. And the great thing about what we do is that we're coaching, not counseling. And people will always have the both of us in on sessions, just so we can make sure that couples are getting both perspectives from a man and a woman at the same time. And that has been such a blessing in all of our sessions.
Amen. we've added in the seriously dating couples because in 2018, we had a lot of couples to reach out to us at the beginning of January 2018, asking, do we work with seriously dating couples? And we were not working with seriously dating couples, but we said, maybe we should start. And it ended up being a good thing because we have been able to equip the couples with the necessary information to make an intelligent decision to determine whether they need to take the next steps to be engaged.
Absolutely.
So if we can equip those seriously dating couples before they get engaged, they can make an intelligent decision, yay or nay, whatever that may be, as to which way they should go.
I agree with that, because we had counseling, and I have to say I am so grateful that I had it, because one, y'all don't have to agree to me because y'all already know, and so does my husband, I'm seriously spoiled and I want what I want when I want it. But you can't have that when you marry. And I'm going to tell you, Angel, you probably knew or not know, I don't know, because we've been married since 2001. But my daddy would give me whatever I wanted when I wanted. And that's good to a certain point, but when you get married, you have to cut that off because you don't give the husband the opportunity to take care of the wife the way God intended to, especially when you have an out. And so I don't know if you remember this, but one time I was having one of my little spats, and Angel used to do my hair, and she was like, what we not gonna do, Missy, is we're not going to talk about the husband when the husband is not here.
That's
because
right.
I was so used to having what I wanted and doing what I wanted. And this is segued into my first and second question for you all. A lot of people don't know the purpose of marriage. So when you don't know the purpose of marriage, you abuse it. And I'm so glad I have friends like the first, it did hurt my feelings, but when I thought about it, I said, if she really wasn't my friend, she would have let me still go down that drunken road of being stupid. And I got a really good husband. And then the other one, my second question is, because it's two of y'all, so I'm trying to make sure I give both y'all equal time. So a lot of times, because people don't know the purpose of marriage, they don't get the proper training, which is what you guys offer. They'll go learn how to drive a car for whatever the amount of time that is. They will go learn and go through all the classes so they can be successful in their job, on their business. But what they don't do is the proper things so that they can have a successful marriage. Thus lies stress and challenges. Take it away, you guys.
So I'll take the first one. You take the second one?
Go ahead.
All right. So the purpose of marriage, first of all, and you're dead on, because every session that we start, whether it's a seriously dating couple, engaged or married couple, we started out with building a foundation centered around the purpose of marriage. And unfortunately, not enough couples understand what the purpose of marriage is, and they wonder why they're having some of the challenges that they're having is because they don't have that understanding and that level of accountability as it relates to the purpose. So we break the purpose of marriage down into three areas. Number one, it should always reflect the image of God and God's relationship between God and the church. God is a relationship God. And then when you look at who is God, like God is love. So when you look at 1 Corinthians chapter 13, which is the love chapter, we should be loving one another along those same lines. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love doesn't boast. It's all these things that we should be.
Unconditional.
Yes, and that's the part where people really don't understand going in, is that it's not about you. It's about loving unconditionally because God loves us unconditionally as well. Then number two is compatibility. This is the opportunity and the area in which God has allowed us to come together. Even when Adam was created and he gave Adam authority all over the sea, the fields, naming everything else, he said, you should not be alone. You need a helpmate. And so what did he do? He created Eve. And he created Eve to help and support. And we as couples have to realize that we need each other. Two is better than one.
Yes.
And so God has called us to walk in a level of oneness together. The Bible talks about Amos 3:3, says, how can two walk together unless they agree? And then even in Matthew chapter 18:18, it talks about how when two come together, touching and agreeing on anything, two things happen. God gets in the midst of it, and you have whatever you say. So that's number 2. And then number 3 is being fruitful and multiplying. It is our God-given responsibility, not just to have children as far as procreation is concerned.
That's what most people think it is, just that, but we took it a step further.
Yeah. So the next piece of it is being disciples. Is duplicating your relationship in the lives of others.
So it's not just a disciple for Christ, but a disciple for marriage.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, not enough couples have a good image of what a good marriage looks like. So it is our responsibility as couples, even as Christian couples, is to be that light, be that example. Our pastor used to say this a long time ago. Electricians use wires, plumbers use pipes, but God uses people. And God needs us to fulfill this purpose in marriage so that others can see that one, marriage can work, but then they can also, two, get a clear understanding of his love and his relationship between him and the church. All right?
Amen.
Amen. Amen. All right, Miss Angel.
What was the second question?
So the second question was people don't take the time to get you all talked about it a little bit, and I didn't know if you wanted to elaborate some more. A lot of times people don't take the time to get the proper training for marriage. Now they'll go to marriage counseling, but then they stop. I equated that to they learning how to drive. They do what they have to do, go to school so they can do better in their education. But reason I circle back to that is because the DMV don't let you take your driver's license one time and say you forever. They make you come back. Well, now it used to be every 2 years or something like that. But they make you come back on a regular basis, and they add more and more stuff. You can't see because you're a certain age. You can't do this. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted you to elaborate on why people need to get counseling, because it's not a cuss word to get counseling, people.
Right. You don't have to necessarily have a major crisis situation going on to reach out for accountability's sake, I would say. And like Jason says, we call it coaching. And we call it coaching because sometimes people need a mediator. Sometimes they're not able to do it on their own. They need somebody to help bring balance, to teach them how to listen well and how to communicate properly. You know, sometimes couples are not choosing the right words. They're not taking a pause. We talk about that often in our sessions. You need to take a pause sometimes when you're in a heated discussion, because you need to make sure that you're digesting what just happened, but also that you're processing to get the right words to communicate properly to your spouse in a loving way. So it's very important that we have couples that we work with, like maybe in 2018, they're just reaching back out now. We always suggest that they do the accountability check-in every 6 months. Let's check in every 6 months. Don't wait until you get a flat tire all the time to come back to us. We can help you before then. Just making sure that you're staying on top of using the tools and the resources necessary to have a successful relationship.
I like that.
We also use the example as well as it's no different than you having a car. You need to take your car in for routine maintenance. You need to change the oil. You need to rotate the tires. You need to kind of do some things to keep the car moving along in its proper function so that you can maximize every aspect of that vehicle. You do the same thing as far as going and getting your physical, getting your health checked on, periodically. These are all things that allow us to function at the highest level. So to Angel's point, we coach couples, who may be in crisis situations, but also too, we coach couples who, hey, we just want to enhance what we have.
Yeah, they just want some accountability.
Right, we just need somebody that we could be accountable to, or that can kind of help us navigate through some of these obstacles that we just find ourselves stumbling upon.
Right.
And that's really what it's all about. But at the end of the day, we all need somebody, and we all need improvement in whatever we're doing.
I'll stand it. Hey, you guys, I just pulled up a couple books because I don't know if you guys have recommended reading lists that you all like people to do, because I like what you were saying. I was thinking the same thing when you said like a tune-up, like a car, when you're going to get coaching, because you need it. Because I want to tell y'all women, a lot of us, now I didn't come from a single family home. I had both my mom and my dad. but I took more after my dad being more outspoken, and I hung out with my dad. And so I picked up a lot of his traits. Not saying that's good or bad, but when you get married, it can't be one-sided. And you have to be transparent. And for a long time, my husband was like, well, you're not allowing me to do what I'm supposed to do. You're trying to do both roles, and it don't work like that. And I'm gonna tell y'all, you don't want to do that. And that's segueing into two of the books, because y'all were hitting on a lot of the stuff that are in these books. One of them is the Love Dare. And so, like, to me, I love this book, because when you are going through a tune-up and you can't be with Angel and Jason, this is 40 days worth of information that hit on everything that he's already said, and it'll keep your cylinder going. Because he was mentioning that love is patience, and he covered that one in Ephesians. Well, it's a scripture here in Ephesians 4:2. Be completely humble and gentle, be patient, bearing with one another in love. That's patience, and a lot of times we don't do that. There's and I'm sorry, I didn't tell you. Well, it's the Love Dare, and they made a movie out of it, but it's 40 days. Here it is right here, guys. This is 40 days of work that you can do, or tune up. I don't want to say work, because people, they act like if you have to do work, it's like it's a cuss word or something. But it's 40 days to get your marriage back on track. Because if you tripping, and we all have gone there, you might not like the words that I'm using, but I know I'm a workaholic, and I can tell when based off of how my husband responds, I'm not paying attention to him well enough. You're going to cause problems in your marriage when you put other stuff, you know, making that a priority over your spouse. And so I basically told him, just because sometimes I don't get it when you like your lip poked out. Just say, look, you need to pay attention to me, woman. And then here's the other one I like. It's the love language. A lot of times we want to take care of somebody the way we want to be taken care of. Well, you didn't marry you. You married somebody else who balances you out. So you got to learn that whether you like it or not, that your husband or your wife is the product of your intelligent choice. And I choose to think that I'm highly intelligent. So, but you guys, what books that you would recommend? And then I want to go to my number 3, you guys, because this is a power couple. They officiate marriages. And one of the things I wanted to ask you, because I know you all do the coaching virtually, and I think it's in person, but you only do it in Maryland, DC, and Virginia, or will you, for coaching that is, will you work with anybody anywhere in the United States? Because we broadcast all over so it's not just going to be Maryland, DC,
right,
and Virginia. So I know the marriages, you're only licensed in Maryland, DC, and Virginia, but coaching, I want to know, can you, since you do it virtually, can you help anybody anywhere? And I got 3, just ask me to repeat them. When you officiate marriages, are you allowed to do them virtually?
No, for officiating virtually, but we do 95% of our couples we meet with virtually. 95%. We have couples on the West Coast, East Coast, all over. So we're not limited to just DC, Maryland, Virginia. As a matter of fact, a lot of our couples are from like the West Coast area. Seattle, Washington, California. We have Midwest, Chicago.
We have couples down in Texas, so we're able to accommodate couples wherever they are.
Now,
matter of fact, we had a couple on last Saturday from, I think they were in Botswana. That we were able to communicate with utilizing the similar tools that we're doing right here.
Well, we went on WhatsApp.
Yeah, exactly. So we have whatever apps that are necessary. And look, we are here, ready, and available.
And Jason was going to do a wedding in Atlanta, and they just had to meet a certain requirement, like to get their license. If they went through coaching, advising, the price for them was lower to get their license. Sometimes in different states, you have to get a temporary license to marry in a different state. So there are options out there for us to come to another state.
Now, Sandy, what was your initial question?
My initial questions were, do you guys have coaching tools that you present to people, or books like the ones that I just did? Because I love the Love Dare, because it's 40 days of assignments for somebody.
Yes.
So two,
They don't come to you every 2 seconds, you know.
got it. So two books that we definitely highly recommend is one is called His Needs, Her Needs. And even in that book, it's very important for couples to kind of go through that multiple times a year, maybe like once or twice a year, because needs change. And even in that book, His Needs, Her Needs, it really focuses in on the love bank and filling the love bank. And that's really where a lot of couples are, is that their love banks have been depleted. And that's why they're having a lot of frustrations. And then the second book that we recommend is the book is called Love and Respect. See, women want to be loved, men want to be respected. And unfortunately, sometimes they're constantly going in this vicious cycle because they're not understanding how to, one, love the other and or respect the other person. And then understanding too that what we may get frustrated about in one another is not that each other are wrong, it's just that we're different.
Right.
And it teaches you how to understand and accept each other's differences throughout the relationship.
That is so awesome. Hey guys, I got a sadface.com. The executives just told me we got 10 minutes. You guys have been rocking and rolling. Anytime you want to come in and do a part 2, any specials that you got going on, you guys are more than welcome to come on. But I want to give you all the opportunity, because you all have so much going on. Please tell the listening and viewing audience how to reach you on your website, phone numbers, all of the services that you all have. One thing I want to tell you all, audience, that these guys do podcasts. So if you can't get them in person, which is the best thing, you want to listen to their podcast. So tell them how to get on your podcast, and how do you, I guess, work with people that want to be coached and those that want to be married. That's a lot. Just tell me to repeat it.
You'll talk about the people that want to be coached. I'll talk about our social media and where to find us. So they can go to our website at www.focusmarriages, that's FOCUSED, marriages.com, .com. And our email address is focusedmarriages@gmail.com. We have a Focus Marriage Facebook group. It's a private group. They can join that anytime. I can let them in. And then they can follow us on Instagram at Focus Marriages. We typically try to put posts up every day, every other day. And we also, when we do pop-up date nights and different things, we put that information on our social media handles. So that's how they can get in touch with us.
And then for any sessions, whether you're seriously dating, engaged, or married, you can always go to the website at www.focusmarriages.com and then hit on book. And then what we also recommend is that people come on with a free consultation. So we give a free 30-minute consultation for them to kind of get to know us. We get to know them, understand what it's going to look like, a touch and feel of it all. And then we'll proceed as far as, the next steps, as far as, setting up the sessions following.
And we have to say we're in the process of getting our website updated as we speak. It should be launching probably beginning of May, our new website. And we're going to be offering some e-courses online.
Absolutely.
Outstanding, because I was going to ask you guys that. I love it. Hey, you guys, we have had an outstanding time with this power couple. This is Angel and Jason Scott of Focus Marriages. Please go on their website, set up some coaching time with them. And as Angel mentioned, give them a little bit of time. They're going to start having e-classes for you all, so you can have great tune-up time in your marriage and just have a wonderful, successful time being married. Hey, you guys, I am your host, Sandy White of Simply-FITT Radio. We broadcast out of Upper Marlboro, Maryland on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are a part of the WYTV 7 Christian Broadcasting Network. So please make a generous donation if you want to continue to see segments like this and the other broadcasters that have wonderful segments on here. And until next week, you guys be blessed and have a great day.
All righty. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.